What up, y'all? It's the homie Dame, and I've been alive for a very long time. In the 4+ decades I've been around, I've experienced it all. Working all types of jobs, getting married to all types of women, having kids, going broke, and also watching a lot of Japanese cartoons. And if you're one of the few people that watches this channel, you know that out of the hundreds and hundreds of anime I've seen, there is a big 3 of shows that I haven't seen. They're specifically notable because they're shows that you could generally expect an anime fan to have seen if they're really into the medium. These shows are JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Gintama, and Bleach. During my short time as a YouTuber, I've watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, big L for that one. I've watched Gintama, big W for that one. And now, after 20+ years of the show being out, I've finally started to watch Bleach. Yes, I can no longer milk content about never having seen the show anymore. But now I can finally see what all this Soul Society, Hollow Bankai nonsense is all about. And of course, I recorded every bit of my journey so y'all can watch a grown man be mildly invested in a children's action fantasy TV show. Assuming you're willing to pay $5 on Patreon, of course. Which, understandable if you don't want to do that. But lucky for y'all, I put some reaction clips in this video along with my general thoughts of the first 20 or so episodes. Because those early episodes of Bleach, yikes. So yeah, if it isn't clear by now, this is going to be about, roughly the first 20 episodes or so of Bleach up until the start of the Soul Society arc. Obviously, I've continued onwards watching on Patreon, but we'll just be talking about those first few episodes for now. Number 1, the 2000s shonen experience. The first thing I noticed about Bleach is that it definitely feels like a 2000s shonen anime. Probably because it is, but y'all know what I mean. I was watching these first few episodes of Bleach and got warped back to like 2006 when I was a broke man listening to Young Jeezy. Not gonna lie, not much has changed since then, except now I listen to like Ice Spice and Red Velvet. But yeah, there's a real feel to these 2000s shows that feels very tangible. Everything from the animation and the art style to the character tropes and dialogue. And to be fair, it's not like there aren't shows out today with similar dynamics, but to who doesn't like seeing that stock perverted friend character with his comic relief and oh my god, he's so funny. Alright, bro. Cut this dude out the show, bro. But yeah, this was about as nostalgic as it gets for a show I've never seen. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to say this feels formulaic, because it's not like a next level hot take to say a lot of shonen follow a formula. But maybe in this case, it's better to say it feels familiar, and I guess that can be a good thing. Number 2. Ichigo and his band of buddies. Okay, so let's talk about some of the characters we're introduced to in some of these early Bleach episodes. If y'all remember, I did a video ranking Bleach characters without having seen the show, and I also did a blind watch of the live-action Bleach movie. So I was vaguely familiar with some of these characters, but y'all know me, my memory is not that good, so all I remembered was like Orange Man and Orange Girl, Glasses Man, Bear, and Closet Girl. Ooh, I know him. He's Bucket Hat Man. This is obviously Ichigo. That's Orihime. I don't know who the chick on the right is. That's Rukia on the left. That's, oh, I forgot his name on the right. He's the half Mexican one, ain't he? I forgot his name. The characters are cool, but it's all very simple stuff so far. We're introduced to a pretty decent sized cast of characters from Ichigo's school, as well as some Soul Society people and whoever that Bucket Hat Man is. There's also like a bootleg Shiryo Emiya and Rin Tosaka duo, so that's kind of cool. Is that young Rin Tosaka and Shiro from Fate? He even got red hair too. Oh, can I just say as a side thing, by the way, I've already been put onto the fact that Ichigo and Orihime eventually end up together, and I also know about the whole shipping wars that went on with Ichirukia and all that. That kind of thing was inescapable back in the day. I'm sure I don't need to tell y'all that. I'd just be minding my own business trying to go on internet forums to talk about, I don't know, Gurren Lagann or something, and then out of nowhere, I'd find myself in a 1,000 reply thread of Rukia versus Orihime. And now that I'm experiencing it firsthand here, it's like, bro, Orihime obviously clears. Damn, she got it in between the tooth. Oh, nah, that's crazy. Damn, Rukia a real one, though. This is where all y'all Ichirukia shippers got your, your first taste, you know what I'm saying? An attack by a stray dog, bro. Oh, she a real one, bro. She know her man, bro. She know her mans. She's a real one for thinking it. Nah, Orihime goated for this. That's poetic. That's a Kendrick Lamar lyric. This is a Persona ass soundtrack. Look at them, they're perfect together. But you know, I can see why a lot of people thought Ichigo Rukia was something that was being set up, I guess. Now granted, I don't know a lot of the behind the scenes, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kubo wasn't even thinking about like relationship stuff and just kind of made both options viable up until he finally decided Orihime would be the end game. I mean, who knows, right? But besides all that, I mean, what else is there to say though, right? We get a basic taste of all the characters' personalities and a little bit of backstory behind all of them. Orihime is a nice, slightly quirky girl who lost her brother and also likes bread. Chad is a big old dude who's secretly a softie. Ishida's from some family that's been at odds with the Soul Reapers, and he has your standard shonen rivalry with Ichigo. Rukia is a Soul Reaper who gives Ichigo his powers and lives in his closet. You also got Yuzu and Karin, who are much more involved in the story than I thought they'd be, considering they're in like one scene from the live action movie. And of course you got the random classmate characters too, which the most notable for me being Tatsuki, who I swear had to have inspired Kanbaru from Bakemonogatari in some way. Like, I don't know, I'd bet my non-existent YouTube paycheck on it. Dude, she even got the monkey arm like Kanbaru. Nah, Monogatari definitely based Kanbaru off Tatsuki here. I would be shocked if that wasn't the case. Number 3. Things I liked. I like Ichigo a lot, man. He's scrappy, he's got delinquent energy, he's kind of dumb like a shonen protagonist should be. He's very pragmatic, and he doesn't really have any big lofty goals at first, like, you know, becoming Hokage or the Pirate King. Growing up in Southside Chicago, I feel like I knew a bunch of Ichigos. Just dudes who looked threatening and were definitely rough around the edges due to their circumstances, but ultimately having hearts of gold. And having lived in LA as well, I feel like I knew a bunch of Rukias too, meaning weird artsy girls that live in a closet that they pay $2K a month in rent for, but you know, those are stories for another video. Let's see, I like the way hollows look too. A lot of the ones we see in these early episodes have really dope designs. They look pretty frightening, like they're out of a Junji Ito story. Your body, this really is a hentai plotline. That monster do look kind of vaginal, you know what I'm saying? Like that look like a... Let me stop. Ew, Oh, I don't know why I flinched from that. This is the most uncomfortable hollow so far. And of course, I also like the OST. Y'all know I'm a music guy, so hearing some of the fire tracks like Ichigo's theme and whatever this one is called. Hey, this is OST. Sounds like a Beatles song. 1960s ass music. Also, that first opening is great, man. I remember it from when I reviewed all the openings, and what can I say? It's a classic. It's kind of wild that we're getting to the point where people are having 2000s nostalgia like we used to have 80s and 90s nostalgia. And that's me right now watching Bleach. And I hate to keep bringing it up, but I feel like that's going to be a huge part of the appeal for me as someone watching for the first time in 2023. Number 4. Things I didn't like. Now's the part where I get myself in trouble and people start leaving dislikes and calling me slurs in the comments, because these are some of the things I didn't like, or at least was like, I don't know about that. First and foremost, it's pretty boring, let's be honest. That's the case with a lot of these famous long-running animes. Some of them start out great, some of them start out a bit slow, and you can guess where Bleach falls for me. Because Ichigo doesn't have an immediate tangible goal like, again, becoming Hokage or something, these early episodes feel like we're just meandering around with not a lot of direction. It's very villain of the week, which, you know, isn't a bad thing, but if you didn't know any better, it'd be surprising to guess that Bleach would eventually become the super famous best-selling series that it is today just by looking at these early arcs. Also, another thing, there's a lot of big lore drops and exposition and like world building and all that, but all of it is explained in a kind of dry and long-winded way. I mean, Rukia usually delivers it with like those cute little drawings that she does, but still, like, holy fuck, what is a Shinigami again? What is a Gigai, huh? Gigai, what? That sounds like a slur. Like, what'd you call me? This is only really a personal problem for me because I'm really dumb and I have a hard time following things that require more than a 3rd grade reading comprehension. But thinking about it more, Naruto is kind of a victim to this sort of clumsy world building too, because I remember reading the Naruto manga when it first came out, and for the longest time I was all like, wait, what's a Kekkei Genkai again? And you know, stuff like that. I get that all this stuff needs to happen. Like, we need to understand how Soul Reapers work. We need to understand what a Zanpakuto is. Well, I get it. It just feels very long-winded and boring to me, and my eyes kind of glaze over whenever Rukia is explaining some new weird concept. It's not the biggest complaint, but it is another very familiar thing in some of the shonen series from this era. It's just, you know, clumsy storytelling. These stories start out with concepts in the writer's head, very simple stuff, and as the series goes on longer and longer, you can see things get more focused, get more planned out, and feel more purposeful. You know, as opposed to just figuring out what random things we can throw here into the story to appeal to a bunch of Japanese boys so that, you know, our series doesn't get canceled. I can't fault Bleach too much though, because there still is an underlying story arc of Rukia having to get her powers back and return to Soul Society at some point, which is obviously the arc I'm about to get into, so we'll see where that goes. Number 5, miscellaneous thoughts and reactions. Can I just say that the best episode of early Bleach was the one with my goat Don Kanoji? Oh god, is this gonna be like another monster of the week type episode? Something tells me this dude is not the most vital character to the series. Oh, the music. Yes, sir. Wait, he's kind of fire. Hold on. Kind of fire. What ODB say? Wu-Tang is for the children. He's kind of... I don't know why he's so fire, dude. Like, he's actually kind of lit. He might be my favorite character so far. This is all... He already has the most engaging character arc in this entire show. In this one episode. This is the best episode of the show so far. What the heck? He's such a... I'm getting teared up thinking about it. This is making me cry more than Oshinoko. I don't know. I just thought it was a fun, self-contained episode with a really likable character that goes through a compelling character arc in the span of like 10 minutes. Some people have told me that he makes appearances later on in the series, so y'all already know I'm looking forward to that. That's the most hype thing for me. That's like my Avengers Endgame. Also, maybe I should have gone into this more in depth in the character section, but I really don't like Ishida, sorry. Okay. This dude. I already don't like him. This is such a crazy concept if you think about it. Yeah, Ushida is really actually wild for sending all those hollows out like that. Cause like can you imagine like a zookeeper like letting out a bunch of wild animals into a neighborhood? Just like, we don't need to worry about civilians because, you know, I'll catch them all because I'm nice like that. It's like, bro, why would you even take the risk? I don't know what any of that is, but I just know his ass got to make up for that whole L of releasing hollows onto an innocent town. He got to do a lot to make up for that in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? He felt so lame to me, and his actions seemed so mind-boggling and illogical. It's like, bro, what are you doing? I don't know if he's a fan favorite character or whatever, and I'm sure he'll have his moments later on, but yeah, I gotta stick with my initial reaction to him when I did that blind ranking of the characters. Alright, now for people I don't know. Who the fuck is Uryu Ishida? He looks like a dweeb. I would shove him in a locker, D tier. So yeah, those are my thoughts and experiences with the first 20 episodes of Bleach. Overall, it's exactly what I expected it to be. Not a lot to talk about as you can imagine, but hey, we gotta start somewhere, right? Can't wait to get into this Soul Society arc, aka the Rukia retrieval arc, which people have told me lasts for like the next 40 episodes, so... that's gonna be something. But yeah, like I said, I'm probably already getting into it on Patreon by the time you're watching this, so check that out. Or, I mean, you could wait until I make another video like this in the future, recapping the experience. Anyway, thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and comment below who is the better little sister, Karin or Yuzu. That's the video. Peace. Oh yeah, so throughout the whole reaction, I was constantly trying to piece together what happens in the live action movie with like and correlate it with what's going on in the anime. But the movie skips over literally everything that happens in these first few episodes and goes straight to Ichigo fighting the Grand Fisher. So watching the anime, I thought this was like an early thing that was gonna happen in like the first 3 episodes. So I was sitting there like, oh wow, we're still fighting Orihime's brother. How are we gonna fit the whole Grand Fisher fight into one episode? And it turns out the Grand Fisher is still alive and kicking, at least where I am in the show. It's like, damn, the movie really wanted to fit in Ichigo killing the Grand Fisher before getting into the whole stuff with Rukia and the Soul Society and Byakuya and whatever. I don't know. It's just funny to me.